What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the True Blue Podcast. I am your host, Zachary Sucardi. Thanks for rolling with me. You can find me on Instagram at True Blue Podcast. Just chilling today, having a good day. It took about a week or so to kind of get all the kinks worked out with figuring out posting and getting all the services for streaming ready to go so I can share this, on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. And I had to create a new feed because when I last did this, it was almost 2 years ago. So the feed expired. So what happened is on those platforms, minus YouTube, it wiped out the catalog. But YouTube has the entire fucking thing. So if you want to hear back episodes, just go to YouTube. Everyone has freaking YouTube. But if you prefer those other platforms and you're rolling with the new ones, then just, you know how it goes. For me personally, I'll listen to most of my podcasts on Spotify just because it's easier. I don't need 500 fucking apps. But, some folks have, Amazon, some Apple, yada, yada, yada. So just to kind of clear that up. But grateful to be here today. Had a pretty good day. Worked. I went to the gym. Swam some laps. Went to the animal shelter where I volunteer. Hung out with some animals. Actually hung out with this one dog. His name is Murphy. He was kind of stressed. I forget what it's called, but he has one blue eye and one brown eye. But he chilled with me. Like, I was reading to him, and he was just chilling. Like, after a while, he was kind of stressed because, dogs, they get stressed in those environments. But he was chilling with me, which was nice. The girl working there told me, he needs a little bit more attention. So I just spent my entire time with him. So it was cool. So just to kind of catch up a little bit, because the episode I did before this was just sort of like testing it out, trying to kind of figure out all the levels and get it set up on all the different platforms. So, but yeah, just to catch up, I took about a 2-year break for no real reason. I just sort of, had my energy elsewhere, I guess you could say. During that time, my sweet dog Lulu passed away. And that was a big change in my life. And so she passed away in May of last year. And she went as peacefully as possible, to be honest with you. She just pretty much passed away on the way to the animal hospital. And she peed all over her blanket. But it was, I guess, bittersweet because she was with me. I didn't have to put her to sleep, so to speak. Man, what a tough girl. What a tough girl. And what was such a blessing is her birthday is May 10th. She passed away on May 18th. So I got to celebrate her birthday with her, which was so huge to me. Because while I had her for 6 years. Her birthday was just the best. My birthday came second. I'm a big birthday guy. I think it's important to celebrate your birthday. But getting to hang out with her, make it special, spoil her, love her, it was just awesome. So God blessed me with being able to celebrate her 15th birthday. And then he called her about a week later. So that's what started me volunteering at the animal shelter, is because I wanted to, be able to give the love I was giving to her to other animals. And I'm not in the position right now where I can adopt again or, take on another dog. So I thought, all right, this is the next best thing. And it's great. It's such a blessing because I can love these dogs, read to them, play with them, give them treats, and I don't have to take them home. I don't have to walk them. I don't have to pay for their vet bills. And it's really scratching that itch, so to speak. And I'm just super blessed. I do a lot of volunteering. That's one thing that God has blessed me with. And of all the things that I do, going to the animal shelter is by far the best. because I'm there for them, but man, did they help me out. Did they help me out? Just as all dogs and animals do. So, yeah, just want to kind of catch up on some of that. That's been a mega blessing for me, a mega blessing. Otherwise, I'm in school, which I don't know if I was in school when I was doing this last. So that feels really good to share. I'm taking classes for psychology in hopes of having a degree in psychology so I can eventually be a psychotherapist. So I just want to help people, I don't know like what my future holds, but I definitely want to help people out. So that's what I'm doing. That's given me a lot of positive energy. Going to school, I feel like I have a path. I have some sort of trajectory. So it feels good. And so with the volunteer work, with going to school, doing all the self-care things that I already do, with prayer, meditation, going to church, going to the gym. Like I mentioned today, I went swimming at the gym. I've been going for my nightly walks like I shared on the last episode. So that was that's been great. That has been great. I do a spiritual program outside of that. So that's been saving my ass too. And tons of gratitude, tons of fucking gratitude. Like that, gratitude is such a lifesaver. And if I think about gratitude, it's, God, it just really brings me down to planet Earth, keeps me invested. So I just wanted to kind of catch up a little bit. As I do more episodes, I'll talk more and more about what the hell's going on and where I'm at and yada, 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 yada. Because this is a self-care podcast. Self-care is super important to me. Part of me doing this podcast is also self-care, so it's just all like in one. It's pretty cool. So with all that said, let's get on to the self-care tip of the week. All right, so I thought what would be a good thing to start off with is, what is self-care? Let's define it. Let's talk a little bit about it. Self-care is any intentional action you take to support your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. That's probably the most concise way of putting it. Intentional action, those are the key words there. Even though the word self is in the word self-care, it's not selfish. And if you've ever been on a plane, they always instruct you to, if there's any issues with oxygen or something's going on, you got to put on your oxygen mask first before you can put on any of your children or any people that you're traveling with. So that alone tells you that before you can help someone else in a life or death situation, you have to take care of yourself. Because by taking care of yourself, you're really also taking care of other people. Because if you compromise yourself, you're not going to be there for them. I mean, that's a crazy situation being on a plane with the oxygen masks coming down. But it could also, in other situations, build resentment. You could be bitter. You could sort of have that pent-up anger. So if you're able to take care of yourself, set boundaries, love yourself, support your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, then you'll be available for the rest of us. And I just love that. That always just really rang true to me. Regular self-care itself can reduce stress. It can improve your mood, prevent any kind of burnout where you're just, doing too much, and just help you show up more fully in your relationships, your personal, romantic, work, and just your daily life. So it just has so many benefits. I think it's overlooked in our culture. It's not celebrated in the way that it should be. We're so focused on being busy and on to the next thing and multitasking, while it can really be overlooked. So part of my mission with this podcast is to promote it more. Just to get it more out there. To say, hey, this is a self-care podcast. Okay, well, hey, that's something here. So I'm grateful to call that out. And personally speaking, self-care has just changed my life. Like, I'm focusing on Zach so I can be available for Zach and for others. And sometimes it's, like I said, the prior episode, taking a walk, getting enough sleep, setting boundaries, praying, talking to a friend. Sometimes it's more luxurious stuff like going to the spa, going on a vacation, having a nice meal. Like, it could be really simple shit. It could be brushing your fucking teeth. In my life, I've been so depressed at times. I mean, it hasn't been a number of years, but where it's just hard to get up and get out of bed and brush your teeth and put in your contacts and shave and all these types of things. So it can be broken down to the bare bones of it and just showing up for yourself. So I just wanted to kind of identify what is self-care, all the different examples of it. I'm sure you can think of your own as well. Music for me is self-care, listening to music, reading, just doing things I enjoy and not burning out on too much school, too much work, too much sleep, too much even leisure time. Like, I need structure, personally speaking, to be available and be the best Zach that I can be. So just wanted to define self-care so you had a kind of an idea of where I'm coming from. And let's get on to the True Blue playlist. All right, so the song I chose is called 107. It is by the band Less Than Jake on their album Losing Streak, which came out in 1996. The reason why I chose this song is this is session 107. The song is called 107, so really not too deep here. But I will comment that I do love numbers in music, and this song always stuck with me because of the title 107. I don't really quite know what it's about. Maybe it's like an apartment 107. Maybe it has some other meaning. I have no clue. But I wanted to share it because it's probably my favorite Less Than Jake song. Less Than Jake is a ska band from the 90s. And this was on their album that, clearly their best album, called Losing Streak, and got me into them. I probably heard this somewhere around 1997 from my friend Gary. Shout out to him. But yeah, it's such a good song. It talks about nostalgia and moving forward and being positive, and they're somewhat reflective. Talks about memory change. A real catchy song when it comes to Less Than Jake. I mean, all the songs on that album are catchy, but this one especially, just even the way it starts. But yeah, it just really resonates with me. And it's a good mix of like ska, punk, and there's some horns, but it just meshes really well together, because sometimes too much horns in ska music, for me personally, it just kills it. I really can't hang, but this is a good mix of ska punk with the horns. So check it out. The song is called 107. It's on their album Losing Streak. The band is Less Than Jake. Came out in 96. So check that out. I'll add it to the True Blue playlist, which is on Spotify. So if you just search True Blue playlist, you'll find it. And it's like 6 hours of songs. And this will be the most recent one added. So that's it. Session 107. We talked about what self-care is, gave you a little recap of what I've been up to, and we shared some music by Less Than Jake. Hope everyone has a great week. Hope you're staying cool out there. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.